everybody, to this superhumanistic podcast where we talk about all things health and wellness. We are your hosts, David and Jessica. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure that you follow us on Superhumanistic on everything. Also, leave us a rating and review, and share this podcast with anybody that you think might benefit from it. Last week, we talked about weight loss and different ways to lose weight, caloric deficit, weightlifting, cardio, and a ton of other tips there. So if you're looking to lose weight, make sure you go back and listen to last week's episode. This week, we are going to be talking about vitamin E, the powerful vitamin E, all the antioxidants, oxidative stress. We're going to talk about the benefits of making sure that you get enough vitamin E, the foods that you can eat to get more vitamin E, but also what happens if you take too much vitamin E, which is important as well. So stay tuned to learn more about that. We're going to kick it off with benefits.
Yeah, so many benefits to having vitamin E, and like my husband was saying, we'll talk about like what foods you can find vitamin E in naturally, but I know there's a lot of supplements out there as well that have vitamin E, especially if you're a woman. It has so many different benefits for our menstrual cycle too. So vitamin E is shown to reduce the markers of the oxidative stress, so the stress that's put on our cells naturally just through our day-to-day life with what foods we're putting into our body, our health regimen throughout our week. So our cells have that natural breakdown, but vitamin E helps to reduce that cell damage and actually can reverse some of the cell damage. So you look younger and healthier. We talk about this a lot.
I want to look younger.
We talk about this a lot when we are talking about intermittent fasting. Not just intermittent fasting, but fasting for like 48 hours, which we're going to be doing again soon. So there is a lot of that reversal and cell repair with vitamin E intake too. And it helps to increase that antioxidant defense, so increases our defense to different diseases as well. It also is shown to reduce heart disease risk factors. So with that, vitamin E reduces your blood pressure, which makes you more at risk for heart disease. It also lowers that bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol. So both of those together are linked to heart disease. So with vitamin E, you're able to reduce those levels and have a healthier heart. People that also have like the fatty liver, not fatty liver from drinking alcohol, but just like the fatty liver disease, vitamin E is shown to also reduce inflammation. So it helps reduce the fatty liver disease. It also can manage, so this one's for women in particular, but dysmenorrhea. Hopefully I said that right, probably not. But dysmenorrhea, which is that severe or frequent menstrual pain, so those cramps that we get with our menstrual cycle, vitamin E is actually shown to reduce the amount and severity of the cramping. And my favorite is skin health. Well, not my favorite. I would say looking younger in particular, those cell damage, repairing that would be my favorite. But with that is also skin health. So vitamin E is shown, has been proven to shown better skin health as well. So if you're taking it in a supplement or eating more foods that have vitamin E, watch your skin get healthier throughout that process, and be patient with it too. A lot of times what we talk about on our show isn't like an overnight immediate transformation. It does take time. These are life changes. They're not just a one fits all. You have to kind of piece together what works best for you. So with this, don't expect to like eat a bunch of food with vitamin E, and then the next morning you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I look amazing. It's going to take time,
it's
right?
a marathon, folks, not a sprint.
Yes. Also can benefit our cognitive health. So vitamin E protects us against that cognitive decline. So as you get older, naturally our brains start to decline, but taking vitamin E prolongs that that cognitive decline so that we can stay sharper. It also helps to prevent dementia as we get older too. And then it improves our lung function. So it improves if you have asthma or different diseases for like breathing issues and concerns. Vitamin E can help to reduce those symptoms of asthma and different lung function diseases. So that's what I have for the benefits. I know you were talking more.
Yeah, those were all the benefits.
Nice.
You covered them all.
All the benefits then. So where can we find vitamin E? There are different foods that have a higher vitamin E content. So wheat germ has more vitamin E. You can get that like just the wheat germ itself, or they have an oil. Wheat germ oil tends to have a higher content of vitamin E. Different variety of nuts. So almonds are higher in vitamin E, sunflower seeds, pine nuts. And then avocado is a really good source of vitamin E. And then peanut butter as well is a good source of vitamin E. For protein, fish is always really good with or high in vitamin E content. And then red bell peppers tend to have more vitamin E in it. Not sure why the red, but that's what they said when I was researching red bell peppers. So those are just some of the foods that have a higher content of vitamin E. You can find vitamin E in a lot of other foods, but remember to look for foods that have lower amounts of ingredients in it. So you don't want to, so like the almonds, sunflower seeds, pine nuts, that's one ingredient. So that would be a good source for you to get that vitamin E intake.
All right, yeah, some great foods there. Also in my research, I found that you get leafy greens, spinach, broccoli, stuff like that will also help with that intake. And then also kiwis and mangoes. So as we talked about in previous episodes, there's some great ways to incorporate all those through a smoothie. And that allows you to get the nutrients that you need through whole foods and in an easy and convenient and tasty way as well. So the next thing I want to talk about is the dosage. How much vitamin E should an adult be getting each day? And that is about 15 milligrams. So that's about how much an adult wants to aim for each day. And my wife mentioned supplementation earlier, which can be a little concerning. You think you want to focus mostly on getting your vitamin E, your 15 milligrams per day through whole foods, through diet. That's going to be the best way to do it. The reason being is because if you take too much vitamin E through supplementation, there can actually be some very negative side effects. So you want to steer clear of that. Anytime that you're taking too much vitamin E, that could lead to blood thinning, which also increases the risk of bleeding, and it could even lead to a type of stroke as well. So other symptoms of vitamin E toxicity could be weakness, fatigue, nausea, and diarrhea as well. So again, make sure you're making sure that you're not exceeding the 15 milligrams. You're going to want to kind of see how much of those leafy greens, nuts and seeds, vegetable oils, fruits, and fish that you're taking in each day, and take a look at those nutrition facts and see how many milligrams of vitamin E you're getting roughly for those. And if you're hitting that 15, then you're good to go. If you're not, then you may want to consider some sort of supplementation. But again, the best way to get these nutrients is always through organic whole foods. So that is about what we had for you today in regards to vitamin E. Make sure that you follow us on Superhumanistic on everything. Leave us a rating and review, which will help people find this podcast that could get help from implementing some of these healthy tips into their lifestyle and live a longer and healthier life. Make sure that you share this with somebody that you know that could benefit from it. And make sure that you start implementing some of these healthy tips into your lifestyle every day so that you can be more superhumanistic. We'll see you next time.
Bye.